Good day, students. Welcome to part 4 of the CAHSEE number sense review problems. Now we're going to be going over number 31 to 38. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, 31 says, what is 6 square times 2 square? So in this problem, we can use what we're going to do. Remember the rules of exponents. You have if you have x to the a times x to the b, that is x to the a plus b. Notice here that these two bases are the same, right? That is the only thing that gives you the right to add the powers. But if you look at 6 to the second and 2 to the second, the bases are different, so you may not apply this rule to this problem, okay? So this one, since the bases are different, you actually have to work it out. So what I have to do here is I have to work out 6 squared. 6 squared is 6 times 6, which is 36, times 2 squared is 2 times 2, which is 4. Then I actually have to multiply this out. 36 times 4, 4 times 6 is 24, carry 2. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2, 4, 144. So the answer is 144. Okay? So the final answer for this question is C. All right, let's move on to question number 32. It says, what is the value of 2 to the 6th times 2 to the 4th over 2 to the 5th? This one has all the bases. All the bases are the same. We're going to be applying the exponent rule for multiplication and division in this problem, since we have multiplication and division. Okay? So remember, if you're multiplying numbers of the same base, you add the exponents, x to the a plus b. And when you're dividing numbers of the same base, you divide exponents of the same base, you subtract the exponent, okay? But what I normally like to do is I like to subtract the smaller one from the bigger one, all right? Okay, so let's take a look at this scenario. I'm going to do the top first. Since we have a product on the top, I'm going to do that first, and then we will do the denominator. Okay, so why did I choose to do that first? Notice since you have two terms on top, you can group them in the parentheses like this, since you're grouped together in the numerator. So we can use the order of operations, use parentheses to do the top first. Okay, so let's do the top first using the law of exponents. I'm just going to have 2 to the 6 plus 4. Remember, when you add in, when you're multiplying exponents, you simply add the powers, all right? So you keep the base the same, and then 2 to the 5th, the denominator does not change. So this is now going to become 2 to the 10th divided by 2 to the 5th. All right, we just applied this rule for multiplying. Product power of exponents. Now we're going to apply this rule for dividing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to subtract the smaller one from the bigger one. So we're going to have 2 to the 10, take away 5. What's 10 minus 5? 10 minus 5 is 5, so it's 2 to the 5th. Okay? So all these numbers are completely expanded, so we need to change this form from exponent form to a numerical form. So it's just 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, 5 times, and then we can just work that out, all right? So 2 times 2 is 4, and 2 times 2 is 4, and then we can just bring down this 2. All right, and then let's keep on going. 4 times 4 is 16, and then bring down this 2. 16 times 4, I'm sorry, 16 times 2 is 32. So 2 to the 5th power is 32. So the answer to 32 is 32. Oh, that's cool. Same. Anyway, let's move on to the next question. Question number 33. All right, so 33 says the square root of 150 is between what and what? So all we just need to do is we just square the numbers, all these numbers, and then if we find the numbers, two numbers that this is between, then the root of those numbers is where the square root of 150 is between, all right? So if you notice, we're going from 10 all the way down to 14. So let's do it. We're going to have 10, 11, 12, 13, and then 14. All right, these are the roots right here. Okay, and then we're going to have the squares column right here. Okay, so what is 10 square? What is 10 square going to be? So for this one, we're going to square it. 10 square equals 100. And 11 square, 11 times 11 is 121. Is 150 between these two numbers? No, too small. 12 square is 144. No. 13 square is 169. Well, voila, that's exactly what I want. 150 is between 144 and 169, right? So since 150 is between 144 and 169, the square root of 150 is going to be between the square roots of these two numbers, which are 12 and 13. So your answer is going to be C. All right? Okay, now let's move on to question number 14. It says the square of a whole number is between 1500 and 1600. The number must be between what and what. So this is the same kind of problem. You notice here we're going by 5s, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. So we're going to have the roots column on the left, and then the squares column on the right. Okay, so the goal is we want to find the squares that are bounded by these two numbers right here. Okay, so what squares do these two numbers fall in between? All right, so let's start out with 30. What is 30 square? I'm sorry, this is a square. We have, let's list all the squares here. So you have 30, and then we have 35, we have 40, 45. All right, so 30 square is 30 times 30. 30 multiplied by 30, 0, 0, 3, 0, 3, 9. If you add it up, 900. So 30 square is 900. All right. Okay. Now let's move on to the next one. 35 square. 35 square is 35 times 35. Let's multiply this out. 5 times 5, 25, 5, carry 2. 5 times 3, 15 plus 2, 17, 175. Scratch that out. 3 times 5 is 15, 5, carry 1. 3 times 3, 9, 10. Okay? So if we add them up, we're going to have 5. 7 plus 5 is 12, 2, carry 1. 1, 2, 2. Oh, wait a minute. All right, yeah, so that's it. 1, 2, 2, 2, 5. So 1, 2, 2, 5. So the question is 1500 and 1600, are they between these two numbers right here? Absolutely not. All right, this is too small. This interval is too small to contain those two. So we're going to keep squaring our numbers to see where these two numbers fall in between. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is 40. So what is 40 square? So 40 square is 40 times 40. 0 times 0, 0, 0 times 0, 0, 4 times 0, 0, 4 times 4, 16, 1600. So is 1500 between these two? Yeah. How about 1600? 1600 is right here. So we can simply say 1500 and 1600 fall into this closed interval, okay, because this number right here overlaps with the upper bound. So these two fall into this closed interval here. That means the number that we're talking about, whatever that number is definitely going to fall in between the roots of these two boundaries here. So the number is going to be between 35 and 40. So the answer is B. All right. Okay, let's move on to 35. It says between which two integers is the value of root 61? So we're going from 6 to 10. Same procedure. We're gonna have the roots column on the right, and then we're gonna have the squares. I'll have the roots and then the numbers. Okay, the roots and the numbers. Numbers, which are basically the squares. Okay, so let's have, we have 6, and then 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, So these are the roots, then the numbers are going to be the squares of those, right? So which is 6 squared, which is 36. 7 squared is 49. Is 61 between these two numbers? No. 8 squared is 64. Is 61 between these numbers? Two numbers? Absolutely. Since 61 is between these two numbers, then the square root of 61 is definitely going to be in between the square root of the root of these two numbers. So it's going to be between 7 and 8 because 61 um, is between 49 and 64, okay? So our answer here is 7 and 8, so that is option letter B is our answer for this one, okay? All right, now let's move on to the next one, number 36. It says, absolute value of x is 3. What is the value of 3? So here we're going to think about what the meaning of absolute value is. So absolute value basically means how far a number is from 0. Okay, so how far is a number from 0? That's what the meaning of absolute value is. So for this one, says the absolute value of 3 is 0. So what we're going to do here, we're just going to make a number line and then see what this means. Okay, so absolute value of x is 3. So that simply means that from 0 on the number line, if you go 3 units either to the left or the right, that's what you get. Okay, so if I go 3 units to the right, 1, 2, 3, what does that take me to? It takes me to 3. So this is a positive component. 3 units to the right, or what if I go 3 units to the left? 1, 2, 3. It takes me to -3, right? So the absolute value of 3, if the absolute value of the number is 3, the number is either -3, going to the left, or 3. Okay? So the answer is -3 or 3 right here. All right. Another way you can do it is you can just, if you want to get rid of the absolute value symbol, you can replace it with its definition, which is plus or minus to the left or right of x equals 3. And then you can break up the problem into two equations by going negative and positive. The negative one is going to be negative x equals 3, and then the positive one is going to be x equals 3. All right. And then to solve the one on the left, you just divide both sides by -1. And then you have x equals -3. And then this other one is x equals 3. So your answers are x equals -3 or 3. Answer is B. Alright, that's using algebra. But you don't need algebra to do this. It's pretty straightforward. If you know the definition of what absolute value is, you can just use it to solve this problem. Alright? Okay, now let's move on to 37. It says, what is the absolute value of 7 of -4? What does this mean? This means how far is -4 from 0 on the number line? Okay, so if I drew a number line and I have 0 and -4, how many units do I have to count to get here? I have to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 units. Okay, since -4 is 4 units from the number line, from 0 on the number line, that means the absolute value of -4 is simply 4. Okay, remember, absolute value is not opposite, it's just distance. Okay, it's just distance. All right, so the answer for this one is 4. Okay, let's look at number 38. It says, which number has the greatest absolute value? So we need to compute the absolute value of all these 4 numbers and see which is the biggest. All right, so for A, absolute value of -17. How far is -17 from 0 on the number line? 17 units. How far is -13 from 0 on the number line? 13 units. How far is 15 from 0 on the number line? 15 units. Okay, some people will think that absolute value of 15 equals -15. This is horribly wrong. Absolute value is not opposite. Okay, it's distance. And distance is always positive. Alright, so keep that in mind. Absolute value of 19. How far is 19 from 0 on the number line? 19 units, not -19. Okay, -19 is not the distance. So which is the biggest? This is the biggest number, so your answer is D. Alright? Okay. Alright, so that's that. So thanks so much for watching this presentation. Please feel free to subscribe to my channel. You just click up here to subscribe, and do share this video with your friends if you liked it. You can also request videos in the comment section down below if you need help with any concepts. Collection of clips can be found on mathgoodserve.com. Thanks again and have a wonderful day.